Amidst the mists of fiercest frosts, with barest wrists and stoutest boasts, he thrusts his fists against the post, and still insists he sees the ghost. Oh, what to do tonight today, at a minute or two to two, a thing distinctly hard to say, but harder still to do, for they'll beat a tattoo at 20 to 2, a rat-a-tat-tat and a tat-a-tat-too, and the dragon will come when he hears the drum, at a minute or two to two today, at a minute or two to two. All right. Almost magic time, folks. 45 seconds. Oh, that's a good one. Three, two, one. Let's make some magic. Here we go. Well. Like that. There it is. Getting closer all the time. Well, shit, everybody. If anybody's watching right now, welcome to the big program. I'm Johnny. I'm not feeling particularly healthy, happy, rich, and pretty today. It's been kind of a rough week for a lot of us, but I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to share some time with you, and maybe we'll cheer each other up. That's what I hope. I got some good stuff for you. Shayna's here. Hello. I logged on about 6 minutes ago. Sorry, I was running a little bit late this morning. I was trying to pick out a couple special things for you, and it took a little bit longer than I expected. Boy, what a week, huh? What a week. Not where we thought we were, but it's 11? Oh, okay. Sorry to keep you waiting. I just got started. So let's go to the chat. We'll catch up. Look at that chat logo. Ain't that great? So colorful. I'm enjoying it. Hey, everybody. This is how to chat. Uh-oh. Hold on. Oh, we got no featured chat. It's going to be one of those days. I am here. I missed you. I hope you're doing okay. I know it's been a rough week for everybody, and I know you've been reaching out, sort of crying for help on the social medias there, and I don't know what else to say. It has been a rough week. Tell me about what you've been going through. There's something that's given me comfort is my dogs. I realized that my dogs have no idea that an election happened, and they have no idea that anything changed. And I think if I can be smart like my dogs are, I think I can be even happier in life. I think if I focus on nature, focus on the things that are untouched by politics and popular culture, I can get through it a lot happier. That's the plan. Let's see what's going on with this. Pepper's the greatest. You've been consumed with the news and social media, no doubt. Saw you getting a couple of fights with people. Well, they didn't even get in fights, just the Trump people wanted to show how closely they've been watching Fox News, and they... Hold on, I'm still trying to fix this thing. Still nothing. You know how it goes sometimes. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. This time it's hard right now. I don't know why it's giving me the business, but it surely is. Here we go. Refresh cache. No. Refresh browser. Aha! Getting closer. All right. Okay. There's the featured chat. There's the emote wall. And there's the Facebook chat. Let's double check that real quick. Sorry about all the hassles. Tell me more. Pepper's comforting you. We can learn a lot from dogs. Absolutely. They pay attention to the smart things, and they don't worry. Dogs are only dealing with what they're dealing with right now, and I think that's terrific. Okay. Oh, here we go. All right. We are rolling, and we've got ourselves a little chat on the page there. Sorry about that. It'll catch up with just a minute. I'm not sure there are still lots of supporters on my page who are not chiming in on his post. No, absolutely. And if they did, they'd all say the same thing anyway. Dad's here. Hooray. Fix this. There we go. I'm glad you made it, Dad. It's been a rough week for everybody. We were just talking about the election a little bit and how we were feeling. Friended a few people, restricted list so they can't see my posts anymore. That's pretty smart. Yeah, I just stopped following a bunch of people. If anybody posted something mean-spirited or kind of, on either side, really, if it's just like, hey, look at us, we won, we're so good, I bet you guys wish you had not gotten that shot, or whatever it is they're arguing about this week. You know what I mean? Shayna says, I'm not sure how smart it is of me to post about him, but it's so hard not to. Yeah, no, I understand. I felt that about him since day one. He wants us to post about him, so I don't. I hate him, and I hope he doesn't last too long. You're mad at the people who didn't vote? I'm not sure. There's a lot of numbers. The numbers that came out said that 15% fewer people voted this time than voted in 2020, and I don't believe that. I think that a lot of ballots got misplaced. I think it's certainly logical, and I hope that they'll look into it at the very least. Now, I don't want anybody coming after you either. It's going to have to get a whole lot worse than that, but it's possible. It's possible. I think right now we're still safe in our homes and in the woods and stuff. Still able to say we respectfully disagree. Yeah. Oh, Dad. Dad says stick your finger in your throat. You know how I feel. I just feel a profound disappointment. If the results are legit, and it looks like they are, then we just have to accept where we're living. We just have to accept who we're living with, where we're living, what they want, and what we're doing now. See what part of it we can get on board with and what part of it we have to fight with every inch of our being. Obviously, can't be deporting people. That won't work. I wish I had I have strong opinions. I just don't have a lot of intelligent points to make. It just seems to me, wrong. Oh, question. What makes you think the results are legit? Well, everybody's treating them as such. Nobody's fighting them on the TV, and there's lots of people whose job it is, including my friend Stu Watson, who work at the polls and make sure that the polls are legit. So I've always believed in the polls. I've always believed in that the voting couldn't be rigged in the American voting system. Just because that guy lied about it last time, it gave us all our doubts, and now we're on the other side of it. But I think it came through clean. And if it did, we got to consider what that means for us and for our country, Elon Musk says he's the hack into the voting system. Well, then he probably did. I hope they catch him, and I hope he goes to jail. We have very little to worry about. Well, some of us are immigrants, Dad. So we'll see how that goes. I can't vote in North Carolina anymore. How about that? We just passed a new law saying that you have to be a natural-born citizen of the United States. I'm a naturalized citizen of the United States. I haven't been born overseas, so I can't vote in the next election. Yeah, there is something very fishy. I don't like it, and I'm looking forward to finding out what it's all about. And I'm just trying to concentrate on the good stuff. Come on, there's got to be good stuff. There's got to be. You know what? Let's spin the wheel. I prepared a bunch of good stuff, positive stuff. I was born in Iran, Shayna. I was born in Tehran, Iran, and moved back to the United States when I was less than 1. So hopefully that won't be a problem. He does seem like the kind of guy who might say on a whim, okay, all Iranian citizens have to be deported. So that's not true, Dad? Good. I'm very glad to hear that, because I'm involved now. I was born in Iran. I'll leave that to Dad. I could have sworn I told you this story before. Dad was working for General Telephone. He worked for him in Tampa, Florida for a while, and then they had a position for him in Iran in 1978, just as I was being born. So he loaded up my mom, who was pregnant with me, and Kim, and Andy, and Stephanie, I think, maybe not, and they lived in Iran for about a year and a half. And then in 1978, there was an overthrow of the government, a revolution from the Shah to the Ayatollah Khomeini, I believe, and we had to leave. We left one Christmas in 1978 to go visit my mom's parents, and then we couldn't come back to get our stuff because Iran was overthrown and Americans weren't welcome anymore. So, for more information, see the movie Argo. That'll give you some. I am an American citizen. Good. Good. Always felt like one. But you never know when they're going to change the rules on you. Let's spin the wheel. You tell me more about it. Yeah, let's see if we can't find something that cheers us up a little bit. There's got to be some good news. Here we go. Joke. Okay, good. Let's go to the comedy club. I got a couple old street jokes for you. I like calling them dad jokes because they're jokes for dad. Huh? How about that? Let's see if I can find a couple you'll enjoy. Turn to my cool side, make a funny face, and here we go. No. What kind of underpants do lawyers wear? Briefs. Another one? Okay. What do you call it when a cow grows facial hair? A moustache. See, that's non-political. That's fun. All right, let's spin the wheel. Monologue. Nice. Yeah, meet me in the theater, would you please? Pretty cool, right? Mustache. We have fun. All right. So, I have got a couple of good monologues for you. One of them is a Louis C.K. about how great life is, and one of them is semi-political, and I think now is the perfect time for it. This is... if you remember a few years back, after 9/11, Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert held a rally outside of Washington, D.C. called the Rally to Restore Sanity. And the idea was to bring people together. And he gave a speech at the end of the Rally to Restore Sanity that, frankly, is my favorite political speech ever. So I would like to give that to you. I hope you enjoy it. This is Jon Stewart's closing speech at the Rally to Restore Sanity. Here we go. I can't control what people think this was. I can only tell you my intentions. This was not a rally to ridicule people of faith or people of activism or to look down our noses at the heartland, or passionate arguments, or to suggest that times are not difficult and that we have nothing to fear. They are, and we do. But we live now in hard times, not end times. And we can have animus and not be enemies. But unfortunately, one of our main tools in delineating the two broke. The country's 24-hour political pundit, perpetual panic conflictinator, did not cause our problems, but its existence makes solving them that much harder. The press can hold its magnifying glass up to our problems, bringing them into focus, illuminating issues heretofore unseen, or they can use that magnifying glass to light ants on fire and then perhaps host a week of shows on the sudden, unexpected, dangerous flaming ant epidemic. If we amplify everything, we hear nothing. There are terrorists and racists and Stalinists and theocrats, but those are titles that must be earned. You must have the resume. Not being able to distinguish between real racists and Tea Partiers or real bigots and Juan Williams and Rick Sanchez is an insult, not only to those people, but to the racists themselves who have put in the exhausting effort it takes to hate. Just as the inability to distinguish terrorists from Muslims make us not less safe, but more safe, but not less. Sorry. If we overreact to everything, we actually get sicker, and perhaps eczema. And yet, with that being said, I feel good. Strangely, calmly good. Because the image of Americans that is reflected back to us by our political and media process is false. It is us through a funhouse mirror, and not the good kind that makes you look slim in the waist and maybe taller, but the kind where you have a giant forehead and an ass shaped like a month-old pumpkin and one eyeball. So, why would we work together? Why would you reach across the aisle to a pumpkin-ass forehead eyeball monster? If the picture of us were true, of course, our inability to solve problems would actually be quite sane and reasonable. Why would you work with Marxists actively subverting our Constitution, or racists and homophobes who see no one's humanity but their own? We hear every damn day about how fragile our country is, on the brink of catastrophe by polarizing hate, and how it's a shame that we can't work together to get things done. But the truth is, we do. We work together to get things done every damn day. And the only place we don't is here, or on cable TV. But Americans don't live here, or on cable TV. Where we live, our values and principles form the foundations that sustain us while we get things done, not the barriers that prevent us from getting things done. Most Americans don't live their life slowly as Democrats, Republicans, liberals, or conservatives. Americans live their lives more as people that are just a little bit late for something they have to do. Often that they do not want to do, but they do it. Impossible things every day that are not only made possible by the little reasonable compromises that we all make. Look on the screen. This is where we are. This is who we are. You see the cars merging into the Lincoln Tunnel? These cars. That's a school teacher who probably thinks his taxes are too high. He's going to work. There's another car, a woman with two small kids who can't really think about anything else right now. There's another car, swinging. I don't even know if you can see it. The lady's in the NRA, and she loves Oprah. There's another car, an investment banker. Yay! Also loves Oprah. Another car's a Latino carpenter. Another car's a fundamentalist vacuum salesman. Atheist obstetrician. Mormon Jay-Z fan. But this is us. Every one of the cars you see is filled with individuals of strong belief and principles they hold dear. Often principles and beliefs in direct opposition to their fellow travelers. And yet these millions of cars must find somehow a way to squeeze by one, into a long 30-foot wide tunnel carved underneath a muddy river. Carved, by the way, by people who I'm sure had their differences. And they do it, concession by concession. You go, then I'll go. You go, then I'll go. My God, is that an NBA sticker on your car? Is that an Obama sticker on your car? Well, that's all right. You go, then I'll go. And at some point, there will be a selfish jerk who zips up the shoulder and cuts in at the last minute. But that individual is rare, and he is scorned, and he is not hired as an analyst, because we know instinctively as a people that if we are going to get through the darkness and back into the light, we have to work together. And the truth is, there will always be darkness. And sometimes the light at the end of the tunnel isn't the promised land. Sometimes it's just New Jersey. But we do it anyway, together. If you want to know why I'm here and what I want from you, I can only assure you this. You have already given it to me. Your presence is what I wanted. Sanity will always be and always been in the eye of the beholder. To see you here today and the kind of people that you are has restored mine. Thank you. Jon Stewart, ladies and gentlemen. Whew. Wish there was more like that going around. All right, let me check on that. Okay, here we go. Moustache. Speaking of Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert, I'm very concerned that late-night comedians like them will have to censor themselves in the future so they will not be at liberty to discuss the bad man. I sincerely doubt they'll do that. I think they're looking for a fight. I really do. I know Seth can't wait to fight. I know Stephen Colbert is a great advocate for free speech. I think the late-night people, I think they'd rather go to jail than stop. I know I would. Can you imagine your place in history? I don't think they're going to have to stop. I don't think they're going to wuss out. I think they're going to step up the game. They're going to speak the truth to power and do what comedians are supposed to do. And I don't think any president's going to change that. In general, we're not going to be censored, but I remember when we had Trump as president last time, you couldn't say the word Trump without people in the audience going dipshit. Not ape shit, that's a different thing. Dipshit. Just, Donald Trump, you shut up. Not a point, not angry, just loud, hey, look at me. I'm a Trump supporter and I'm proud and you all are dumb. And I hate that feeling and I sincerely hope that we don't have that feeling anymore. We certainly won't have that feeling in the cruelty-free show because we won't talk about politics, even that guy. I worry that all of us will be censored or lose freedom of speech. I won't let him have it. Don't worry, Shayna. There are a lot of good people in this country. Yes, that is the important thing to remember. There are a lot of good people in this country. Bad man, Voldemort, Orange, him that shall not be named. Call him who you like. We all know who I'm talking about. Ugh, hate that dude. All right, enough of that. I'm tired of thinking about him. Let's spin the wheel and come up with something, more cheerful. All right, Froze. Meet me in the Froze library, would you please? All right, I have picked out some George Carlin because I know how much you enjoy it. So this is his work on euphemistic language. It is entitled Euphemistic Bullshit by George Carlin. It's 2 parts. I'll read the first part now. Oops. Euphemistic Bullshit by George Carlin. Uh-oh. Hold on. Problems. Big problems. Weird. Okay. Here we go. Euphemistic Bullshit by George Carlin. I don't like euphemistic language, words that shade the truth. American English is packed with euphemism because Americans have trouble dealing with reality. And in order to shield themselves from it, they use soft language. And it somehow gets worse with every generation. Here's an example. There's a condition in combat that occurs when a soldier is completely stressed out and is on the verge of nervous collapse. In World War I, it was called shell shock. Shell shock. Simple, honest, direct language. 2 syllables. Shell shock. It almost sounds like the guns themselves. That was more than 80 years ago. Then a generation passed, and in World War II, the same combat condition was called battle fatigue. 4 syllables now. It takes a little longer to say. Doesn't seem to hurt as much. Fatigue is a nicer word than shock. Shell shock. Battle fatigue. By the early 1950s, the Korean War had come along, and the very same condition was being called operational exhaustion. The phrase was up to 8 syllables now, and any last traces of humanity had been completely squeezed out of it. It was absolutely sterile. Operational exhaustion. Like something that might happen to your car. Then, barely 15 years later, we got into Vietnam, and, thanks to the deception surrounding that war, it's no surprise that the very same condition was referred to as post-traumatic stress disorder. Still 8 syllables, but we've added a hyphen, and the pain is completely buried under jargon. Post-traumatic stress disorder. I bet if they'd still been calling it shell shock, some of those Vietnam veterans might have received the attention they needed. But it didn't happen. And one of the reasons is that soft language, the language that takes the life out of life. And somehow, it keeps getting worse. Here are some examples. At some point in my life, the following changes all occurred. Toilet paper became bathroom tissue. Sneakers became running shoes. False teeth became dental appliances. Medicine became medication. Information became directory assistance. The dump became the landfill. Motels became motor lodges. House trailers became mobile homes. Used cars became previously owned vehicles. Room service became guest room dining. A riot became civil disorder. A strike became job action. A wildlife park became a jungle. A jungle became a rainforest. A swamp became wetlands. Glasses became prescription eyewear. A garage became a parking structure. Drug addiction became substance abuse. Soap opera became daytime drama. A gambling joint became a gaming resort. A prostitute became a sex worker. Theater became a performing arts center. And wife beating became domestic violence. Constipation became occasional irregularity. When I was a little boy, if I got sick, I went to a doctor who sent me to a hospital to be treated by other doctors. Now I go to a family practitioner who belongs to a health maintenance organization, which sends me to a wellness center to be treated by health care delivery professionals. Poor people used to live in slums. Now, the economically disadvantaged occupy substandard housing in the inner cities. And a lot of them are broke. They don't have negative cash flow. They're broke because many of them were fired. In other words, management wanted to curtail redundancies in the human resource area. And so many workers are no longer viable members of the workforce. Smug, greedy, well-fed white people have invented a language to conceal their sins. It's as simple as that. The CIA doesn't kill anybody. They neutralize people, or they depopulate an area. The government doesn't lie. It engages in disinformation. The Pentagon actually measures nuclear radiation in something called sunshine units. Israeli murderers are called commandos. Arab commandos are called terrorists. The Contra killers were known as freedom fighters. Well, if crime fighters fight crime and firefighters fight fire, what do freedom fighters fight? And some of this softened language is just silly and embarrassing. On the airlines, they say they're going to pre-board passengers in need of special assistance. Cripples. Simple, honest, direct language. There's no shame attached to the word cripple. No shame. It's a word used in Bible translations. Jesus healed the cripples. It doesn't take 6 words to describe that condition. But we don't have cripples anymore. Instead, we have the physically challenged. Is that a grotesque enough evasion for you? How about differently abled? I have actually heard cripples referred to as differently abled. You can't even call them handicapped anymore. They say, we're not handicapped, we're handy-capable. These poor suckers have been bullshitted by the system into believing that if you change the name of the condition, you'll somehow change the condition. Well, it doesn't happen that way. I'm sure you've noticed we have no deaf people in this country, hearing impaired, and no one's blind, partially sighted, or visually impaired. And thank God we no longer have stupid children. Today's kids all have learning disabilities, or they're minimally exceptional. How would you like to be told that about your child? Actually, it sounds faintly positive. He is minimally exceptional. Oh, thank God for that, I guess. Best of all, psychologists now call ugly people those with severe appearance deficits. Things are so bad that any day I expect to hear a rape victim referred to as an unwilling sperm recipient. There you go. Speaking of cow jokes, well, this is fun. What kind of milk do pampered cows give? What kind of milk do pampered cows give? Let's see. 2%, 100%, skim. I don't know. What kind? I'll spin the wheel, then we'll find out. Shakespeare. Excellent. Meet me at the Shakespeare stage, would you? Spoiled milk. Nice. 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 I enjoyed that. All right. We got a whole new system here I'm trying to figure out. So I hope you'll indulge me for a moment as here we go. Good, good, good. So we go to Shakespeare. Let's start with a sonnet. This is my very first sonnet request. We were doing them all in order, but I had a dear friend of mine who asked me to read this, her favorite sonnet, and I'm very excited to do so. So let me make sure the shot is straight. It is. And here we go. Spoiled milk. Pampered cow. All right. Sonnet 116 by William Shakespeare. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star of every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out, even to the edge of doom. If this be error, and upon me proved, I never writ, no man ever loved. Fun. Send that to her. Ooh, here we go. What kind of disease does an old roof get? What kind of disease does an old roof get? Let me think about it. Spin the wheel. Horse of coffee. Old roof. Let's see. Holes. Leaks. Shingles. What? Disease. Oh, jeez. Should have saw that coming. All right. Oh, good poem. Meet me in the poetry corner. We got some poems for you here. Let's do On Joy and Sorrow. This is On Joy or Sorrow and Sorrow by Kahlil, K-H-L-I-L, L-I-L, Gibran, G-I-B-R-A-N. Your joy is your sorrow unmasked, and the self-same well from which your laughter rises was oftentimes filled with your tears. And how else can it be? The deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. It is not the cup that holds your wine, the very cup that was burned in the potter's oven, and is not the lute that soothes your spirit, the very wood that was hollowed with knives. When you are joyous, look deep into your heart, and you shall find it is only that which has given you sorrow that is giving you joy. When you are sorrowful, and look again in your heart, and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight. Some of you say, joy is greater than sorrow, and others say, nay, sorrow is greater. Together they come, and I say unto you, oh, geez, let me start over. I was trying to do it by hand, and I can't. I got to run the thing. Here we go. You guys are very patient. Thanks for sticking with me. Kahlil Gibran, On Joy and Sorrow. Your joy is your sorrow unmasked, and the self-same well from which your laughter rises was oftentimes filled with your tears. And how else can it be? The deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. Is not the cup that holds your wine the very cup that was burned in the potter's oven? And is not the lute that soothes your spirit the very wood that was hollowed by knives? When you are joyous, look deep into your heart, and you shall find it is only that which has given you sorrow that is giving you joy. When you are sorrowful, look again in your heart, and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight. Some of you say, joy is greater than sorrow, and others say, nay, sorrow is greater. But I say unto you, they are inseparable. Together they come, and when one sits alone with you at your board, remember that the other is asleep upon your bed. Verily, you are suspended like scales between your sorrow and your joy. Only when you are empty and you are at standstill and balanced. When the treasure keeper lifts you to weigh his gold and his silver, needs must joy or your sorrow rise or fall. Lovely. Oh, thanks for asking. The kid's doing fine. Yeah, it's almost time for roses and thorns anyway. We'll talk about it then. I don't know. We'll see when it comes up. No, everybody's doing fine. Everybody's healthy. Debbie's been working very, very hard. We got to have breakfast this morning. I got to do father-son breakfast with Orion, but not Charlotte last week. They had Monday and Tuesday off last week, and they have Monday off this coming week. And then Wednesday was just sort of a day where everybody slept in, so I missed breakfast. I don't know how interesting that is. Lauren's great. Lauren's great. Yeah, no, I see her picture. My wife put it up on the mantle. I see it every day now. Yeah, Lauren's very, very cool lady. I'm very fond of her, and I'm very happy she's been kind enough to share some of her time with us and help give us some advice. I'm excited about learning how to promote a show properly in the current age. Okay, oh, look. All right, roses and thorns. We'll go right there then. Let's do it. Roses and thorns. For those of you who've never seen it before, your roses are the good things that happen to you, and the thorns are the things that are a little bit tougher. Let's see, in this case, a rose was that you went and saw Sarah Silverman last night. Very cool, very, very funny lady. Unbelievably likable and charming. Just gives out vibes that suck you right in. Everybody, I think everybody walks out with a little crush on her. I really do, because she knows how to play that note so beautifully. When else do you went to dinner with your friend Daniel? Hey, friend of the show. Yeah, I'm sure she's fantastic. She's been doing it forever, and she gets better all the time. Can't wait to see the next special when it comes out on the Netflix or whatever it is. Oh, she's adorable. She's so good. And a brilliant writer, too. I think so much of her performance gets layered on top that sometimes the writing gets ignored. She's really very, very clever. I think my favorite one, let's see. She's gorgeous. What is she, 56, and she's still running around in skin-tight jeans and looking good? Who's allowed to do that? You're not supposed to do that. She does it. She's fantastic. You like Sarah Silverman, Dad? She does solid work. I like Sarah Silverman. I have for a long time. I saw her last year with Debbie. Right? She can get away with anything. 53, my God. She's wonderful. Looks fantastic. I do. I enjoy her very, very much. And I look forward to seeing what she does next. Yeah, when life gives you AIDS, make lemonades. That's what she says. All right. Yeah, she's a brilliant, brilliant comedian and right on the cutting edge. And I'm excited to see what she does next. She's wonderful. How about you, Dad? Or how about me? Let's see. Roses and thorns. I'll say mine. You guys tell me yours. Thorn is that one fella got elected president again, and I was totally sure he wasn't going to. I was completely invested in manifesting it going the other way, and I blew it. So that was a thorn. Now we're going to have to figure that out together. All of us. We're going to have to figure it out together, and we will. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think we'll figure out a way to cope, and the correction will be glorious. Just have to wait a few years for it. Let's see. Other thorns. Oh, I had fondue for the first time this week. My wife, Debbie, and the two kids, Charlotte and Orion, we all went and had fondue. I didn't like the waiter, and I said so. to Debbie, just sort of like, I don't like that guy. I don't like the looks of him. And she yelled at me, man. She was like, oh, all he's done is bring us food. What's wrong with you? Why are you hating people? I'm going to go in the car. And you guys, I'll wait for you guys to finish your food. You're being a jerk. And I felt absolutely terrible. And I was like, no, don't do that. I was just, I'd like to judge people on their looks. It's kind of fun. And I won't talk anymore. And I just sort of sat there for the rest of the meal. Couldn't look anybody in the eye because she was right and I was wrong. But it was over the top, and it felt like I had been chided in front of my children, like I had been shamed. It's been a very long time since I felt shame, and I felt shame at that moment. So that entire meal, I couldn't shake it off. Let's see. It wasn't related to Voldemort? But enough about me. Spin the wheel. Zen Koan. Nice. Do you? Yeah, sorry, Dad. Yeah, it's been a long time since I felt like that. She never does that. She never shames me or corrects me in public or things like that. She was just very, very tired. She didn't really talk about the bad man at all. The only thing she said about him was at the beginning of her set, when she said something like, let's have some fun before the hell that awaits us. Good answer. Good way to start. I haven't seen the new SNL from last night. They had Bill Burr host. The last couple times Trump got elected, they had Dave Chappelle host, but I guess he decided not to this time. But Bill Burr's pretty great. So I look forward to seeing how everybody's coping with that over there. No, I'm sure she wouldn't. Why would you? Especially in North Carolina, she thinks that we're all, and she's right, she thinks that most of the audience are Trump fans. So, all right, let's try Zen Koan. What do you say? What do you say? Having trouble finding one? Please be patient. I believe we're all the way up to the 90s. How about that? Let's do number 91. This is Zen Koan 91, and it's entitled The Taste of Banzo's Sword. Matahuro Yagyu was the son of a famous swordsman. His father, believing his son's work was too mediocre to anticipate mastership, disowned him. So Matahuro went to Mount Futura, and there found the famous swordsman Banzo. But Banzo confirmed the father's judgment. You wish to learn swordsmanship under my guidance? Asked Banzo. You cannot fulfill the requirements. But if I work hard, how many years will it take me to become a master? Persisted the youth. The rest of your life, replied Banzo. I cannot wait that long, explained Matahuro. I am willing to pass through any hardship if only you will teach me. If I become your devoted servant, how long might it be? Maybe 10 years, Banzo relented. My father is getting old, and soon I must take care of him, continued Matahuro. If I work far more intensively, how long would it take me? Oh, maybe 30 years, said Banzo. Why is that? Asked Matahuro. First you say 10, and now you say 30. I will go any hardship to master this art in the shortest time. Well, said Banzo, in that case, you will have to remain with me for 70 years. A man in such a hurry as you are to get results seldom learns quickly. Very well, declared the youth, understanding at last that he was being rebuked for impatience. I agree. Matahuro was never told to speak of fencing and never to touch a sword. He cooked for his master, washed the dishes, made the bed, cleaned the yard, cared for the garden, all without a word of swordsmanship. 3 years passed. Still, Matahuro labored on. Thinking of his future, he was sad. He had not even begun to learn the art to which he had begun devoting his life. But one day, Banzo crept up behind him and gave him a terrific blow with a wooden sword. The following day, when Matahuro was cooking rice, Banzo again sprang upon him unexpectedly. After that, day and night, Matahoro had to defend himself from unexpected thrusts. Not a moment passed in any day that he did not have to think of the taste of Banzo's sword. He learned so rapidly, he brought smiles to the face of his master. Matahoro became the greatest swordsman in the land. All right. Working on it. Here we go. All right. That was fun. Learn a little something. Can't rush, or you'll be no good. Most of her fans are probably liberal, but North Carolina, who knows? I agree. I can't imagine too many Orange People supporters also like her. She's so vocal about her hatred of them. That's true. I hope you're right, but you never can tell. I have lived in a Republican state for years, always vote in every election, no winners in years. I hear that. Thinking we all ought to move to Pennsylvania. Take over. You know, I've been considering moving to a blue state, but I feel like I should probably stick around Charlotte because my support system is here. I think so, too. I think you spend a lot of time building friends and the relatives, friends and your chosen family here in Charlotte, and we'd miss you if you went. I still want to move, though, and I've been thinking I'll move to Charlotte. I know you're in Huntersville right now. I think Charlotte is it's a hassle anyway. It's just the traffic. Hey, you do you. You do you. I live in the Charlotte city limits. The taxes are high, but I like it here. I think it's fun. All right, let's spin the wheel. Wisdom. All right. Let's meet me. Play down some wisdom from on high. Oh, what's this? Corner? Don't like it? There we go. Fixed. Now, we have, for you, no more Kendall Linguini. Oh, no, what happened? Is Paul's Platt's mom okay? They're going to throw all that in the garbage? That was a giant, massive amount of work. Tell me more about that, please. I'd like to know. I'm going to read you this thing, but I want to know more about Kendall Linguini. Love them guys. All right. Here we go. This is How to Be Happy by Matt Haig. Don't compare your actual self to a hypothetical self. Don't drown in a sea of what ifs. Don't clutter your mind by imagining other versions of you in parallel universes where you made different decisions. The internet age encourages choice and comparison, but don't do this to yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy, said Theodore Roosevelt. You are you. The past is the past. The only way to make a better life is from the inside, the present. To focus on regret does nothing but turn that very present into another thing you will wish you had done differently. Accept your own reality. Be human enough to make mistakes. Be human enough not to dread the future. Be human enough to be, enough. Accepting where you are in life makes it so much easier to be happy for other people without feeling terrible about yourself. Lovely. I learned something. All right. Go back. Here we go. He said it like a kindergarten for adults. Oh, no. I am very sad. Paul's mom decided she doesn't want to do it anymore. Oh, boo. Well, that means she's available to book for my show. Oh, it's too bad. I thought it was a great show. I'm very sad as well. He's working on a new comedy folk opera about mental health. His working title so far is Cray Crayola. Spectacular name. Love it. And since I used to be a kindergarten teacher, Daniel said I could help. Oh, that's so exciting. That's going to be so fun for you. I love working on the exciting projects. Do you guys have some time set aside? Are you going to sit down and work on it? Or are you going to do FaceTime? Or what's the process? I'm always curious. Tell me more. First, let's spin the wheel. It's cool. Let's sing a song. Meet me in the a cappella library, would you please? see. I got 2 cheering up songs I think you'll enjoy. This first one is, I'm afraid I need somebody to look up which musical it's from. I think it's from Brigadoon, I'm not sure. It's called Everybody's Spring. And the song is about whether you have money or not, springtime is yours to enjoy. But in this particular case, I'm not thinking about money. I'm thinking about politics and how autumn is still ours to be enjoyed no matter who the president is. So think about that while I sing this song. You think that money is everything, and yet it's anybody's spring. Go make a fortune, become a king, and still it's anybody's spring. And if you flash a bankroll, do you suppose a brook would care, or that a rose would say, there goes a millionaire? I'm dead wrong. I can't sing the song. God, it makes me very sad. Let's just sing the words. Dramatic reading. You think that money is everything, and yet it's anybody's spring. Go make a fortune, become a king, and still it's anybody's spring. And if you flash a bankroll, do you suppose a brook would care? Or that a rose would say, there goes a millionaire? It's more than diamonds around a ring, because it's anybody's spring. You may be born with a silver spoon, and yet it's everybody's moon. You couldn't buy a ticket to hear the first robin sing. It's free, because it's anybody's spring. It's more than diamonds around a ring, because it's anybody's spring. You may be born with a silver spoon, yet it's everybody's moon. You couldn't buy a ticket to hear the first robin sing. It's free because, it's free because it's free because it's anybody's spring. Nice. Wish I knew how to sing it. All right, let's keep moving. Let's spin the wheel. Street jokes, maybe at the comedy club. All right, here we go. Let's see. What's the one you just told me? Let's do some jokes. That's embarrassing. I should have had a couple ready. Sorry about that. Why don't you tell secrets in a cornfield? Too many ears around. Hey, did you hear about the 2 rowboats who had a fight? It was an ordeal. An ordeal. Hey, did you hear about the cleaners who went into space? They ended up scrubbing the mission. All right, let's spin the wheel. Oh, I'm so glad. I've enjoyed it too. I think it's oh, yeah, I'll tell you something else. There's something else in my, hold on. Oh, monologues. Nice. Maybe in the theater, would you? I love doing the AI art, and I think it really helps release the dopamine for some reason. AI art is helping me get through the past couple of weeks, and I started a new Instagram page. I'm very excited about it. It's just AI pictures of a kitten, a puppy, and a baby doing stuff. And that's all it is. Just AI pictures of them playing chess and jumping through a flaming hoop and cliff diving in Mexico. It's a baby, a kitten, and a puppy, and it's really fun to make. So I've been enjoying that. That's on Instagram under a puppy, a kitten, and a baby. That's the name of all right, there you go. I really enjoy AI art. All right, speech. I got some good stuff for you here. Let's do some Louis C.K. about how life is a great deal. I love this bit. There's some cursing, so Buckle up. Here we go. Life is a Good Deal by Louis C.K. Life is short. Life is very short. I like life. I like it. I feel like even if it ends up being short, I got lucky to have it because life is an amazing gift when you think about what you get with a basic life. Not even a particularly lucky life or a healthy life. If you have a life, that's an amazing... Here's your boilerplate deal with life. This is basic cable, what you get when you get life. You get to be on Earth. Huh? First of all, my God, what a location. This is Earth. And for trillion miles in every direction, it fucking sucks so bad. It's so shitty that your eyes bolt out of your head because it sucks so bad. You get to be on Earth and look at shit as long as you're not blind or whatever it is. You get to be here. You get to eat food. You get to put bacon in your mouth. I mean, when you have bacon in your mouth, it doesn't matter who's president or anything. You just, every time I'm eating bacon, I think I could die right now. And I mean it. That's how good life is. You get to fuck. That's free if you're smart. That comes with. That's part of the deal. Where else are you going to get that deal? You get to put your dick in there and go in and out. Pretty good. Pretty good. And if you're a woman, you get to just lay back and just have a dick shoving in and out of you awkwardly anytime you want. Anytime you want. If you're a gay man, you get to just fill your boyfriend's ass with your dick. You just fill it all the way to the balls, and it's nice, and it's warm, and it's tight in there, and he's your buddy. And if you're a lesbian, you get to do all the stuff they're doing. And it's a great deal. You get to eat. You get to fuck. You get to read To Kill a Mockingbird. It's a great life, you know? So I'm not worried about it ending. It's pretty good. And I've wasted a lot of it just being angry at people I don't know. You know, it's amazing how nasty we can get as people, depending on the situation. Like, most people are okay as long as they're okay. But if you put people in certain contexts, they just change. Like, when I'm in my car, I have a different set of values. I am the worst person I can be when I'm behind the wheel, which is when I'm at my most dangerous. When you're driving, that's when you need to be the most compassionate and responsible of any other time in your life, because you're driving a fucking weapon amongst weapons. And yet, it's the worst people get, and I am the worst. One time, I was driving, and there was a guy ahead of me, and he kind of, I don't know, he sort of drifted into my lane for a second, and this came out of my mouth. I said, "Worthless piece of shit." I mean, what an indictment. What kind of way is that to feel about another human being? Worthless piece of shit. That's somebody's son. And things I've said to other people. I was once driving and some guy in a pickup truck I don't even remember. And I yelled out my window. I said, "Hey, fuck you." Where outside of a car is that even nearly okay? If you were in an elevator and you were like right next to a person's body and whatever, and he leaned into you a little bit, would you ever turn right to their face and go, "Hey, fuck you, worthless piece of shit"? No. Literally zero people would ever do that. But put a couple pieces of glass and some road between you, and there's nothing you would not say to them. "I hope you die." I said that to a person. "I hope you die." Why? Because you made me go like this for half a second of my life. You tested my reflexes and it worked out fine. So now I hope your kids grow up motherless. I mean, what am I capable of? I'd like to think that I'm a nice person, but I don't know, man. A lot of it is context. There's a lot of things I wonder if the world was different. Like, if murder was legal, I might have killed a few people. I don't know. I'd love to think I would never do that. But we really need the law against murder for one simple reason. The law against murder is the number one thing preventing murder. Well, we'd like to think it's because, like, "Oh, I'd never do that." No, it's because it really sucks getting caught murdering. A lot. If murder was legal or just a misdemeanor, Like you get a thing in the mail, shit, they had a camera there. Ah, well. If murder was legal, there would be so much murder. Regular people would murder. Murderers would murder even more. And then really nice, sweet people would murder a few people. But nobody would murder no people. You wouldn't trust somebody who didn't murder if murder was legal. You wouldn't like him. I never killed anybody. Oh, okay, nice meeting you. Ugh, what a creep. Ugh. I mean, not even a hooker? Come on, live a life. What's wrong with that guy? He's like a Mormon or some shit. I hate those guys. I think he's nice. Shut up, Janet. They would just, if murder was legal, there would be a lot of murder. Children would behave very differently because mostly parents would be murdering their own kids. That's mostly what would happen if murder was legal. You know, you'd go to a mall and there'd be like 8 different moms in the mall just, I told you to stop it. You didn't listen to me. There'd be just, you'd be stepping over dead kids. There'd be like a new problem. You have to clean up your kids when you kill them because it's gross. It's bad for the environment. If you murder your child in a public place, please use one of the red bags that are in the dispensers every 3 feet of America. Put your murdered child in the red bag with a logo of a murdered kid on it next to the other logo that tells you not to let your live kid play with the plastic bag because they might suffocate, in which case you would just leave them in the bag. That's a whole bunch of horrible thoughts right in a row. Right in a row. That is a compressed area of bad thought. Okay. You know, you have your bad thoughts. Hopefully, you do good things. Everybody has a competition in their brain of good thoughts and bad thoughts. Hopefully, the good thoughts win. For me, I always have both. I have like the thing I believe, the good thing. That's the thing I believe. And then there's this thing, and I don't believe it, but it's there. And it's always this thing and this thing. It becomes a category in my brain that I call, of course, but maybe. I'll give you an example, okay? Like, of course, children who have nut allergies need to be protected. Of course, we have to segregate their food from nuts, have their medication available at all times, and anybody who manufactures or serves food needs to be aware of deadly nut allergies. Of course. But maybe if touching a nut kills you, you're supposed to die. Of course not. Of course not. Jesus, I have a nephew who has that. I'd be devastated if something happened to him. But maybe if we all just do this for a year, we'll be done with nut allergies forever. No, of course not. Of course not. Of course, if you're fighting for your country and you get shot or hurt, of course, it's a terrible tragedy. Of course. But maybe if you pick up a gun and you go into another country and get shot, maybe it's not that weird. Maybe if you are getting shot by the dude you were just shooting at, it's a tiny bit your fault. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Okay? Of course. Slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Of course it is. Every time throughout history that it has happened. Black people in America, Jews in Egypt. Every time a whole race of people has been enslaved, it's a terrible, terrible, horrible thing. Of course. But maybe every incredible human achievement in history was done with slaves. Every single thing where you go, how did they do that? How did they build those pyramids? They just threw human death and suffering into them until they were finished. How did we traverse the nation with the railroad so quickly? We just threw Chinese people in caves and blew them up and didn't give a shit what happened to them. There's no end to what you can do when you don't give a fuck about particular people. You can do anything. That's where human greatness comes from. It's that we're shitty people, that we fuck others over. Even today, How do we have this amazing micro technology? Because the factory they're making these, they jump off the fucking roof because it's a nightmare in there. You really have a choice. You can have candles and horses and be a little kinder to each other, or let someone suffer immeasurably far away so you can leave a mean comment on YouTube while you're taking a shit. Life's pretty good. That's the point. That was fun. All right, let's go check. Oh, all right, we got all kinds of fun. Too old to care. No thorns. All right, Dad, go get them. Help however I can. AI art, not to bring up you bring it up again, let it a comedy and laughter. Have you ever seen him actually laugh like ever? The man does not laugh, and that's normal. Just an observation, man. No, he laughs, but he always laughs at something mean. That's all. He's a very literal person. He has no sense of irony. He has no wit. I'm trying not to get too political, but that's one of the first things I disliked about him. He laughs like a Billy laughs. He doesn't laugh like a funny person would laugh. Obama was funny. Give you credit. Even George W. Bush had his moments. But no, he doesn't. He's just, he's a barely functional human being. And I don't know how he's going to, okay, there you go. Rose and thorns. Doesn't actually laugh. Short chuckles sometimes, but not real laughs. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't like him either. Let's spin the wheel. Oh, prose. Nice. Meet me in the prose library, would you please? Very nice. Let's see. I think, we're going to do the second half of that George Carlin bit about euphemism. So let's find that. Euphemism, euphemistic bullshit, getting old. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3. Getting Old by George Carlin, of course. Of course, it's been obvious for some time that there are no old people in this country. They all died. And what we have are senior citizens. How's that for a lifeless, typically American 20th century phrase? There's no pulse in a senior citizen. But that's a term I've come to accept. That's what old people are going to be called. But the phrase I will continue to resist is when they describe an old person as being 90 years young. Imagine how sad the fear of aging that is revealed to be in that phrase. To be unable to even use the word old, to have to use its antonym. And I understand the fear of aging is natural. It's universal, isn't it? No one wants to get old. No one wants to die. But we do. We die. And we don't like that, so we bullshit ourselves. I started bullshitting myself when I reached my 40s. I'd look in the mirror and I'd say, well, I guess I'm getting older. Older sounds better than old, doesn't it? Sounds like it might even last a little longer. Bullshit. I'm getting old. And it's okay. But the baby boomers can't handle that. And remember, the boomers invented most of this soft language. So now they've come up with a new life phase. Pre-elderly. How sad. How relentlessly sad. But it's all right, folks, because thanks to our fear of death, no one has to die. They can all just pass away. Or expire like a magazine subscription. If it happens in the hospital, it'll be called a terminal episode. The insurance company will refer to it as negative patient care outcome. And if it's the result of malpractice, they'll say it was a therapeutic misadventure. To be honest, some of this language makes me want to vomit. Well, perhaps vomit is too strong a word. It makes me want to engage in an involuntarily personal protein spill. It's more Carlin for you. Who doesn't love that? Fun, fun, fun. All right. Let's spin the wheel. Oh, we got some more stuff. Jeez. Sure does. Dad says he has no fear. He's my age. And getting old beats the hell out of the alternative. We'll see. All right. Spin the wheel. Ooh, Shakespeare, nice. Maybe in the Shakespeare state. Got a monologue about death. I was thinking about it the other day, as all of us were. This is from Measure for Measure, which is on Max right now, if you'd like to see a film production of it. I also just got interested in A Midsummer's Night Dream. I watched that a couple times this week. 3 or 4 different versions are out there, so I'm trying to get familiar with that, and I might do some work from that later on. But this is for Measure or Measure. There. Take a look at the shot. We're good. We're good. And here we go. But to die, and go we know not where, to lie in cold obstruction, and to rot, this sensible, warm motion to become a kneaded clod, and the delighted spirit to bathe in fiery floods, or reside in thrilling region of thick-ribbed ice, to be imprisoned in the viewless winds, and blown with restless violence round the pendant world, or to be worse than worst of those that lawless and uncertain thought imagine howling. 'Tis too horrible, the weariest and most loathed worldly life that age, ache, and penury and imprisonment can lay on nature is a paradise to what we fear of death. Word. Poetry. Nice. Meet me in the poetry corner, would you please? Let's see. We got another poem to cheer you up. Let's do She Was a Phantom of Delight by William Wordsworth. Oh, I beg your pardon. Excuse me. She was a phantom of delight when first she gleamed upon my sight, a lovely apparition sent to be a moment's ornament, her eyes as stars of twilight fair, like twilight's too her dusty hair, but all things else about her drawn from Maytime and the cheerful dawn, a dancing shape, an image gay to haunt, to startle and waylay. I saw her upon nearer view, a spirit, yet a woman too, her household motions light and free, in steps of virgin liberty, a countenance in which did sweet records, promises as sweet, a creature not too bright or good for human nature's daily food, for transient sorrows, simple wiles, praise, blame, love, kisses, tears, and smiles. And now I see with eye serene the very pulse of the machine, a being breathing thoughtful breath, a traveler between life and death, the reason firm, the temperate will, endurance, foresight, strength, and skill, a perfect woman nobly planned to warn, to comfort, and command, and yet a spirit still and bright with something of angelic light. I like that one. Send Koan. All right, perfect. Maybe the campfire. This is Zen Koan number 92, Fire, Poker, Zen. Hakuin used to tell his pupils about an old woman who had a tea shop, praising her understanding of Zen. The pupils refused to believe what he told them, and would go to the tea shop to find out for themselves. Whenever the woman saw them coming, she could tell at once whether they had come for tea or to look into her grasp of Zen. In the former case, she would serve them graciously. In the latter, she would beckon to pupils to come behind her screen. The instant they obeyed, she would strike them with a fire poker. 9 out of 10 of them could not escape her beating. I wonder what that means. I'll think about that. See how we're doing over here. Nobody said anything in the past couple of minutes? It's hard to believe Dad's the same age. Much less evil, though. I like that about Dad. Let's spin the wheel. Now you gotta go to Pilates pretty soon. Wisdom. Nice. Let's lay down some wisdom from on high. Let's do wisdom. This is from Ira Byock. He's quoting Margaret Meade. Now, I don't know for sure if this is true. I checked it out on Snopes, and it says it's unknown whether or not it's true, but I like it, so I'm going to read it to you. This is wisdom from Ira Byock, B-Y-O-C-K, and Margaret Meade, M-E-A-D-E. Years ago, anthropologist Margaret Meade was asked by a student what she considered to be the first sign of civilization in a culture. The student expected Meade to talk about fish hooks or clay pots or grinding stones, but no. Meade said that the first sign of civilization in an ancient culture was a femur, a thigh bone, that had been broken and then healed. Meade explained that in the animal kingdom, if you break your leg, you die. You cannot run from danger, get to the river for a drink, or hunt for food. You are meat for prowling beasts. No animal survives a broken leg long enough for the bone to heal. A broken femur that has healed is evidence that someone has taken time to stay with the one who fell, has bound up the wound, has carried the person to safety, and has tended the person through recovery. Helping someone else through difficulty is where civilization starts, Meade said. We are at our best when we serve others. Be civilized. Lovely thought. General message to all. I hear that. I am working on cruelty-free to comedy today. Thanks for asking. I am. Yep. We're going to put together the promotion schedule today, and we're also Debbie's putting on a hot chocolate and jokes, and Craig and I are going to host that. So we are putting together sketches for that show as well today. Thanks for asking. It's going to be fun. Can't wait. All right. Let's spin the wheel. Acapella. All right, one more song. One more song, and then off we go to Pilates and Adventures. Meet me in the library. This is one that I sing with my kids, and it's one of my favorite songs. And whenever I'm feeling down, this is where I go first. So I'm going to get the lyrics up just in case, but I think I know it. Let's do Cheer Up by Great Big World. Put this on just in case. Here we go. Cheer Up by Great Big World. Cheer up, 'cause nothing really matters when you look up into outer space. It's a great big world and there's no need to cry. sky. Cheer up, we're all interconnected to the reaches of the galaxy. And my best friend says he came from the sky. He traveled to the earth upon a pink spaceship. It's hard for him to hide behind those eyes. Cheer up, the atoms in your body are as old as every dinosaur. You're a special part of one big grand design. Cheer up, we're all in this together to discover what we're living for. 13 billion years and there's still time. Every night I wish upon a star so bright, waiting for the others to arrive. Cheer up, we're all in this. Cheer up, nothing really matters when you look up into outer space. It's a great big world and there's no need to cry. 13 billion years and there's still time. Yay! That's something we can all get behind. Let's go to the talk show desk. Of course, I'm going to call my old poor dad. I'm sorry I missed the call last week, Dad. I left early. Yes, I will certainly call you today at 4 o'clock on the way out from here. I miss you. I hope you're okay. The kids are doing fine. Everybody's healthy and happy. Orion just got his hair cut, so he doesn't have that gigantic fro anymore. And, yeah, I'll talk to you as soon as I can. Love you, Dad. Thanks for watching. And until next time, remember, there's only one way for us to save this country, and that's for all of us to love one another. So love yourself first. Then, if you can, love everybody. That's what I do. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep shining through just like you always do, and the blue skies will push the dark clouds far away. And would you please say hello to the folks that I know and tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Love you. See you next time. Until then, be good, but not too good. All right. Whoop, we're still on.